What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys so very much. We are over 1,500 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys. So I thank you so much. The shares, the cares, the tears, hey, even the haters. Hey haters, I see you. I see y'all downloading. Appreciate you. All of that makes a huge difference, and I just want to say thank you so very much. Now, today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Mark Grimes. Hello, Mr. Grimes. How are you?
Hey, Ash. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty awesome. And what part of the country are you holding down today, Mark?
I'm talking to you from cloudy and not so fiery Portland, Oregon today.
Ooh, oh man, you guys have been getting some weather. You guys have been getting a little bit.
We have been getting it, but it's getting back to breathable now, which is very nice.
Yeah, definitely pushing for some good quality air out there. A lot of craziness going on in our crazy country here, but not as crazy as launching 31 startups over 31 days, Mark. All right, so let's get back to this. Where did the motivation for you to launch 31 startups come from?
Sure. So I'll try to do a quick backstory, and please interrupt me at any time. So I've been launching startups and growing companies since 1989. I've been together with my wife since 1983. Every company I've launched has been cash flow positive in 90 days or less. And it's just part of the shtick. I didn't plan it that way. That's just the way I know how to do it. I don't write business plans. I don't raise money. It's just the way it's done. And over the years, I've always jotted down ideas. Like almost every entrepreneur that I meet and every startup founder, they have kind of a ADD to their startup views. Right. They always have the next idea, the next idea, the next idea. Mm-hmm. And what I always tell those founders too is just write it down. Keep writing it down. Focus on what you're doing, but write it down. So, the pandemic hit. This year happened. It was June. I was having coffee with my wife outside. We were kind of enjoying the Oregon coast. And I said, I think I finally want to do this thing. And she's like, uh-oh. And I said, I've had this idea. I think I want to narrow my list. I had about 350 plus ideas. Yeah. So I think I want to narrow it down to 31 and launch a company a day for 31 days straight and get as many as I can to cash flow positive by the end of November.
Wow. So, okay. So let's talk about narrowing down this list. You've got like hundreds of different ideas of different brands and different companies. How did you narrow down that list?
So I did no work ahead of time.
Okay.
Literally. No thinking. But what I did is, as I looked at the list, is I tried to think of things that were either very interesting to me personally, or I tried to think of people I knew that I could potentially work with that could help bring that thing into reality.
Gotcha. Cool.
For instance, the very first idea is an axe throwing target company. Very specific, I know. But I know a husband and wife on the coast in Oregon that have this wood manufacturing company. And I figured, well, they're incredible people. They'd be fun to work with. This is not a knife handle or some of the other stuff that they do. This is This is different for everybody. I've also never done a physical product company either. So, started with something kind of from left field and, then again, that was just one of 31, but that's how I kind of started to narrow them down. And I didn't pick all 31 before August 1st started either. I just picked the first 3 or 4. And what I would do is I'd get up in the morning, I'd look at the list. That had narrowed down to maybe 50 or 60. And I'm kind of like, what am I feeling today?
All right. So let's talk about another one of your brands. So Whiskey and Sunset. How did that come about?
Whiskey and Sunset. So, I have a podcast network. We actually have 5 shows that we stream live every week. So I feel your pain with, people like me, they're guests and they show up late and stuff.
No.
But hopefully I wasn't too late. So I'd always wanted the shows that we have right now are very specific to the kind of types of startups, of the founders that we talk to.
Right.
Well, I always wanted to do, the idea actually pre-existed Drunken History, but I always wanted to do a show where startup founders would kind of, take straight shots together and just talk about startups, kind of loosen them up and do this and do that. Yeah. But my challenge was always, we had still have, but a really nice studio downtown. But it's like, now we got to get people together. Everybody's got to drink together. Then we got to get their drunken butts home. It's like, what do we have? Uber? Is Uber a sponsor to drive these people home? Anyway, so all of a sudden it's like, now hold it. With straight shots and startups, everybody's already calling from their homes. They're already there, right? So we just kind of flipped the idea around a little bit in that regards. We're going to do it. So it's basically going to be a Zoom podcast. So it'll be Zoom, but it'll be video too. And that way I'm hoping we can do it in such a format that actually there can be some sort of a quote unquote small audience that can show up and then also participate in some way too.
Sounds like a plan. I'm liking these ideas, Mark. Gold. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
All right. So okay, let's reestablish. So you've got these 31 startups that are launched, right? As of, I believe, was it August the 31st? Like all of them were launched?
Yeah, I did one a day for the entire month of August, and the 31st was the last one, and then started focusing on platforms and partnerships and how to put it all together on starting September 1st. So starting just, 21 whole days ago.
Yeah, so my question to you is, how do you manage such a venture? That just seems just trying to wrap my brain around it, I'm like, how does he do it? You can't sleep. There's no sleep for you.
So I knew it would be a challenge, obviously. I didn't know it would quite be the challenge that it is, which I know is just kind of my ignorance showing. But because I've done this before. I'm just doing it times 31. But part of what's happening is, all seriousness, I'll wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and I'll have 10 different ideas and I'll just get up and start working. And I'm not that kind of person, not usually anyway. But I can't help it because it's like all of a sudden I'll have 3 things. It's like, I got to get up and write these down. I got to do this. I got to send this email. So I'll get up and I'll do it, and I might work till 6 or so in the morning, and then I'll kind of zonk out in my chair for a couple hours. So kind of like 2 work days. And, one of the big reasons, to be honest, I wanted to do this, Ash, was, there's 55 million plus people newly unemployed in the United States. I've had people ask me for 31 years now, interestingly enough, it happens to be 31 years, how do you get your business to cash flow positive? And I've always had I kind of do this and a little bit of that, and I've never really had a good answer. Well, now I figure if I can work through these, and I know they're not all going to get there. There'll be more than one in less than 31, and I'm okay with that.
Yes.
But I want to show people that you can take your idea. The main reason I'm doing this has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with any one of these 31 ideas. It has, I want to show people, whether it's a business-to-business idea that you have or a business-to-consumer idea that you have, whether you don't even just define it that way, that they can go out and you listeners can make this happen yourself. Right. You can go do it. There's nothing special about me. I've just done it a few times. That's all.
I love it. Okay, so Mark, after you reach this goal, right? Hypothetically speaking, we get to November 30th, all 31, or they've accomplished that goal, or they've exceeded it for whatever reason. What's next?
Yep, that's a good question. And we had I've had 2 kind of community meetings for people that are following this so far. Somebody asked the same question in a slightly different way because they thought, are you going to sell each one for $1 million? It's like, gosh, I wish, but no, that is not the plan. So, I don't have a fully cooked plan at all. My kind of half-assed plan, if I can say that, is I envision it. Originally, I thought I might spin them each out into its own separate entity, right? Because right now it's all under one single LLC. Again, I wanted to make this easy. If I made these all separate companies, it would have cost me thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to do it easy and simple. So they're all under one LLC. So I thought, well, maybe if each one gets to X thousand in revenue, I'll spin it into its own company. But that's also kind of boring, too.
Yeah.
So I've been giving some thought to the place at the coast is that we live in Tillamook city of Tillamook, which has the Tillamook Creamery, Tillamook ice cream and Tillamook cheese.
Yeah.
They're actually a co-op.
Really?
They're a co-op of, I forget what it is, like 40, 50 farms, dairy farms. And they've been a co-op for over 100 years. So I thought, wow, what would it be if these companies, even though they're all not connected at all, I mean, the whiskey glass company has nothing to do with the T-shirt company, which has nothing to do with financial meetings, all the different 31 things that I couldn't even tell you all about, right? What if instead they're interconnected in a way and they become like a group co-op of different kinds of companies? So I don't know. The truth is, I'll figure it out then. What I'm going to do is on December 1st, once this time frame is done of this 31 days of launching and 90 days of cash flow positive, on December 1st, my wife and I will first of all have some champagne.
Yes.
And then I'll probably take the month, still working with and on in some of the companies and this and that and the other, but I'll probably take the month to think a little bit about what just happened. And then in January, start to build more plans to make what will happen with whatever companies there are and they may, even if some of them aren't cash flow positive, maybe maybe they will still be ongoing entities too. This isn't about, again, monster revenue for 31 different companies.
Right. Last but certainly not least, what advice can you have for any person out there that may be newly unemployed as far as starting a startup? Just one, not 31.
Sure. Yeah, just one. Yeah, don't do 31. Don't even do two. Don't do two. Trust me. Just do one. Do one and focus. So the main thing, and this is scary to most people.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but the main thing that you need to do, first of all, identify what your startup is in a paragraph or less. What it is and what do you do and what do you sell? That's number one. Number two, go out and take that paragraph and you call up people that are potential customers. Now, in the old days, I'd say try to do a lunch or a coffee with them, but with COVID and everything, I realize that's harder.
Yeah.
Reach out to them via email. Try to get them on the phone, even for just 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, don't make it an hour. Nobody wants to give up that time, not even a half hour.
Right.
Just 15 minutes, even 10 minutes. Talk to them and say, I have this idea for this company. I think somebody like you or your company could be a potential customer. I'd like to run it by you. Run it by them, see what they say. I guarantee you, if you do that 12 times, everybody's going to have one idea how to make it better, and you're going to come at it with something dynamite, or you're going to go, ooh, nobody really bought that. Not bought it, but nobody really came on board with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should think about something else. And you know what? That just saved you hundreds of hours of your life, probably.
And energy and efforts and stuff that...
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mark Grimes, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Let everyone know the best way to reach you and, of course, if they want to follow the journey.
Absolutely. So if people would like to reach me or ask me a question openly, I always prefer to, if it's all possible, but you can find me on Twitter at Mark Grimes, just at Mark Grimes, MarkGrimes. If you'd like to kind of join on the more, on the other side of things and just get on the email and kind of follow things that way, just go to the 31 Startups. That's the number 3 and 1 startups.com. And if you'd like to see all 31 companies just right now and not even join the email, just go to 90 days to cashflowpositive.com. That's a horrible brand, I realize that. But that's what I got.
But
and that's
hey,
what I did. Like I said, everything's not going to be perfect on day one. But any one of those three things, and please say hi. I would really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you so very much. We're gonna be following along with everyone else to see, how things turn out and, what the next venture is going to be. So super excited about that.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Ash. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. And I thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone that tells you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.